Hey, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be interviewing one of our students, Showg. A little bit of background on Showg: she is a business coach based out of Saudi Arabia, and to cut a very long story short, she is actually now a coach within our program. We actually hired her, so she joined us as a student. We've now hired her as one of our coaches in our program because of how good she is, because of the results she's had, because of the knowledge she now has. We thought that who better else but her to kind of invest in and bring her on board as a coach in our program. So she joined us. She was selling her program for, I believe it's around about $2,000. She now sells her program for $8,000. She's making more money. She's getting more clients, and she's really now built out a very clear step-by-step system to getting these clients, and is also now teaching and supporting us in our program with also our students as well. So not much else to say. I'll let obviously Showg do the talking. So without further ado, let's get into the interview. Hello, Showg. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to chat with me. Like I said, I've already filmed a short introduction about a bit of your journey so far. But just for everyone watching, in your own words, you introduce yourself. Who are you? What is it you do? And kind of where are you right now in your business?
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I'm Showg. I'm a business strategist. The way I got to this place is a bit interesting. I had co-founded a little startup with two of my friends where we helped people. Basically, it was like a small recruitment company. We helped people hire, but it was by skipping the CV. So instead of looking at the CVs, you would ask questions, and that's how you would pick the right people. And through that process, I ended up giving the clients more business advice than I did recruitment advice. And then I started, and I decided to leave that company and start my own coaching business from there. I used to charge $50 an hour, so $50 a client. And thanks to, my process, everything, and then this program, I am now charging about $8K per client. So yeah, that's
Quite a big
kind of,
jump.
yeah, a big jump, which is really interesting and it's really cool. And it's
Yeah.
really nice to help people. So I like that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And just so everyone knows, whereabouts are you located? And I can't remember. Do you sell to your local audience or do you sell internationally? Just I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm located in Saudi Arabia. Most of my clients are from the region. I have one or two clients outside the region, but I think I'm reaching more towards people who are kind of in the same situation as I am, bilingual, living in the region,
Got it.
and yeah, looking to start their businesses.
Got it. Nice. Nice. Yeah. And again, I asked that question because obviously, as you know now, we've got so many people in the program from all around the world serving different markets. It's good for people watching this, looking in to see like we don't just help people in the English, American, European, like we have people all around the world. So I always like to kind of point that out. But cool. Okay. Well, I mean, sort of first question then is you made a big step in terms of before the program where you were to sort of after the program where you are now, like you said, selling packages for $8,000, which is insane. Um, what changes have you made? What have been the changes you've made that's kind of allowed you to be able to do that essentially?
I think the first change is having the confidence to ask. A lot of people, and I do find that with a lot of people trying to sell high ticket, they're asking, who am I to sell that high of an amount? Who's going to pay me for the amount? So understanding that don't be the person to say no to yourself is key. Let them say no. And then the second thing is understanding what it is that you're selling and what is the value that it has. Because a lot of people, they come in and they say, yeah, I'm not getting inquiries or people are asking and then I'm not selling. And I'm asking the first question I go and ask, well, what is it that you're telling them that you're helping them with? And everybody says clarity.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay you 8K for clarity. But if you give me a specific number or a specific transformation, then I can actually give a monetary value. And when you're selling things, specifically high ticket, it's one of two things. It's you're selling more money for them or you're selling them status. And in order to get to status, you have to first give them money.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key here, and understanding that what you have is valuable, and then asking for that right amount and giving a good customer journey throughout is key.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Definitely agree with that. And in that process, again, that's something that a lot of people struggle with is, confidence, being able to ask for that amount of money, being able to understand the value that is they provide. For yourself, then in your own process of getting to this stage, what were the biggest struggles, the biggest sort of, whether it's limiting beliefs or challenges, roadblocks, whatever it might be, for you personally, what have been the things you struggled with in that process?
So the first thing was saying that I don't have an audience that will buy, because a lot of the people that used to follow me were friends and friends of friends. And I thought, like, they're not going to pay me that amount. Actually, the biggest ratio of customers that I have are people that I know personally in real life. They make the highest percentage. And so the first thing was thinking that nobody's going to pay me that amount of money. Second thing, saying, and I remember I said this to you when I first started the program, my clients are used to 2K, can I sell them 5K? And you said, well, that's a limiting belief, and you moved on. But that really stuck with me. You were like, yeah, who am I to say what they want to pay? I'm not the person paying the money. I don't have to find the money. It's not my job to find them the money. It's my job to give them the transformation.
Yeah.
And so it was that one big thing of, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. This is what I think I'm valued. This is what I'm going to charge.
Yeah.
And that's what people have paid.
Yeah. Exactly right. And I think you bring up a good point there. It's not your job to find someone the funds, to find someone to money, or to kind of bend to what they need or want in regards to the financial side of things. It should just be, your value, the transformation you provide, you understand in a rough range how much that is worth financially. You set the number, you're trying to sell it. And if you can't sell it, then you have to make adjustments so then you can sell it. It's essentially what you have done is you now at a stage where you have a repeatable process where you know how to attract people, how to bring clients in, but also then how to sell them at that kind of level, which is great. It's kind of great to know that. So for someone who was perhaps, or actually no, not for someone, let's say for yourself, if you were to give yourself some advice, say from a year back or when you first started, I don't know, just from in the past, what would be like the number one advice you give to younger you when it comes to building your business?
Trust the process and build a routine around it. I read something really funny yesterday. It says, does the process know that we're trusting it? Trust it, and then find a routine around it. And just if you repeat it over and over again, you're gonna get the results.
Yeah. And when you say build a routine, just dig into that for me. Just explain what you mean by a routine. Do you mean habits? Do you mean having discipline, scheduling things in? What do you mean by routine?
So if the process is, make sure that you get a piece of content out a week or a month or whatever. So whatever that process is, find a routine that helps you stick to it. Because if you just say, I'm going to lose, 10 kilograms, it won't happen if you don't do the small changes. And in order to do the small changes, you need to stick, habit stacking, stack them together, do the right things that you're already doing, but making sure that you get there. Because you can say, okay, I'm going to post a piece of content, but that if you don't schedule it, if you don't know when you're going to post it, if you don't have things set in place, it's not going to happen. So find whatever routine is best for you. So for me, I like to time block, and that works for me. I like to wake up early. That works for me. I don't leave anything to 1 a.m. But you might be a night owl, and that 1 a.m. works better for you. So find a routine that works, and that's how you're going to stick to it. Because if you do it for a week and you don't do it, and then do it another week and then you stop, you're not going to get the results.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, for me, time blocking is my my savior in a sense. I love time blocking. I like to just time block. I don't know how you do it, but for me, when I time block more of a general, a time block of a deep work session. So I don't time block the individual tasks. I know that some people do that and it works very well. But for me personally, I time block deep work for say 3 hours. Then I use my little notepad I've got here. I write down individual tasks then on that day that I have to get done in that deep work session. And that works quite well for me. So again, I think that's a thing that a lot of people get wrong. It's about the aspect of time. And a lot of people, and obviously you've probably had it yourself with your own clients, that people say, oh, I just don't have time for that. Or I just haven't got time in general. And it's like, well, you probably do have time, or most likely, no, yes, you do have the time. It's just simply you're not prioritizing and blocking your time effectively and focusing in that time and getting stuff done, basically. That's what I've done anyway.
Yeah, my response to that is check your screen time on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Time on your laptop and check your screen time on your iPad. That you found time.
Yeah.
Look, if I can do it, you can. I do 10 different things, and it is hard, but I am finding time. And if I can do that, and 10 different things is not an exaggeration, that's an exact number. But I think the key is not just like blocking deep work. And for you, because this is the only thing that you're doing, that works because you only have to focus on your business.
Exactly.
But for other people, and I think a lot of people watching this would be in the situation of doing like a main job and a side hustle, or, I think divide. So like, let's say Wednesday is content day for me, Tuesday is that day. So if you divide them into like, on this day, I'm going to do that thing. And then from 9 to 5, I'm doing my day job. But from 8 to 9, I'm doing content stuff. And then from 5 to 6, I'm doing, my studies. So when you have that sort of, you don't have to specifically divide the thing, but giving yourself that time and understanding to put breaks in, I think that is key.
Oh
Giving
yeah.
yourself to like stop and not think about it and not feel guilty about it. That's the most important part.
Yeah. 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 I agree. And so obviously listening in and just obviously what you're saying, it sounds like you're very structured then in terms of what it is you do, right? So probably one of the big parts or reasons reasons for your success is the structure you have in your day and how you sort of handle your time, etc. and so on. Aside from that, so putting that aside, what else do you reckon you can point to as to why you personally have had the success you've had? Characteristic, a habit, something you do, I don't know. You tell me, why do you think you've had success you've had so far? Well, especially in our program as well.
Yeah, I think the first key is to have somebody you're accountable to. And it could be a friend, better a mentor or a coach, I think is better because it's easier to get like real-time advice that actually makes sense. And I tried to do it alone. I was in the mindset of, oh, I want to coach people. It doesn't make sense for me to hire a coach. And it took me a while to get out of that belief of, no, actually, that is exactly when you need a coach. Because other than them helping you do things, they also give you ideas, in their journey and relationship with you that actually helps you with your clients. My coach did this to me. I loved it. Let me see how I can implement something similar to my clients. My coach did that to me. I hated it. Let me make sure not to do it with my clients.
Yeah.
So I think always having somebody you're accountable to is key. And then the second thing is probably because I'm so strapped for time, I'm forced. I don't have the luxury of, I don't want to do anything today. If I don't do anything today, it's not going to get done till next week.
Yeah.
If I skip content Wednesday, content won't go up next week. That's it. So I think sometimes giving yourself that time squeeze really, really helps. And that's why how people say, oh, single moms are amazing. Yeah, because they have no choice. They have to do what they're doing. And that's why they excel at it.
Yeah. I think that's spot on, that last point, which is about squeezing your time. And it's not. And what's important there is that for a lot of people watching, they might not know what to be doing in the time they have. And so what happens is they might feel like, oh, my time is squeezed already. And so, yes, your time is squeezed, but you're probably doing things within that time that have no impact on your business, on your growth, etc., and so on. So, yes, squeezing your time is extremely important to kind of create that urgency. But I would just add to that, you have to squeeze your time, but with the right activities to actually move your business forward. Otherwise, you're just going to be overwhelmed, burnt out, etc., which is why most people quit and fail because of that reason. But it's a very good point. Very good point you make. Thinking how then more so about outcomes now for yourself, again, personally with the program, what impact has this had now for you? I know obviously in terms of time-wise, you're still strapped for time, still working hard, you're still doing a lot of things, but you're interested in the building phase of your business, and that's sort of naturally how it is. But outside of that, how has this program impacted you, your life, just other parts of your life in general?
Well, the first thing is, I think getting a job on the program as a client success coach, that's the biggest impact. Coaching really fulfills me. I enjoy it. And that is the best thing. Like, I feel good. I don't feel tired at the end of the day of, oh, I spoke to 20 people today. Also, the other thing is it helps me hone my coaching skills as well. Where like, different people, different businesses, it's a much larger audience. So that's, I think, personal, and I don't think that would apply to people, but it is a benefit that I'm seeing. So it is fair to say it. Second thing, I think the blueprint works, like the roadmap really, really works. Starting off, I was a little bit hesitant. I joined the program off of a recommendation of a friend who had gone through the program, and I saw like how much she benefited from it. So I was like, okay, let me try it. And I went in with, if it worked for her, it would work for me, not knowing what to expect. I went in and I feel like she didn't give enough credit as to how good this program is. And the program has now, developed into 2.0, so that's even
Yeah.
better. I think just having that step-by-step process really, really helps. It takes out the thinking, it takes out, the guesswork. Because I've worked with coaches before who are like, we need to do this. You need to upload content. Okay, what type of content?
Yeah.
You need to have a great offer. Okay, but what does that even mean? And but in this program, it like divides it into these tiny subtasks of step 1, step 2, step 3. You literally take the thinking out of it, and now all I have to think about is how to be creative and how I can serve people. And that's what most business owners are good at. They do it because they love what they're doing, and you're giving us a chance. You're giving that back to us of, I'll take care of the business, you do all the creative stuff.
Yes. Yeah. That's something. To be honest, it's something I actually think about, is that creative side of when everything is decided for you in terms of what you have to do today, your tasks, where you have to put your time. That frees up so much mental capacity to be creative. I've never thought about it like that, so I'm gonna have to start talking about that more. But it's actually such a really good point. I never actually thought about, and it makes complete sense, because a lot of your time and energy is taken up by, oh, what shall I eat today? What shall I wear? Where should I go? What should I do? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And it's like, you now halfway through the day, you've not got anything done. You're tired as hell because all you've been doing is thinking about what to do. And so, like you said, yeah, we completely removed that in our program. A very clear roadmap, very clear blueprint. And of course, we customize it. Again, obviously, like you just said, for those who don't know, we've brought Showg on board as a coach. So we customize the actual roadmap to our clients specifically to make sure that they are getting and doing the right activities at the right time for their business. And that's why it's so impactful. So,
and it works. I think it's key to say, you're telling me what to do, but what you're telling me to do really, really works.
Yeah. 100%. Last question, and then I'll let you go again, because I know you're stuck for time. So I'm going to let you go very soon. So don't worry. But in terms of the last question, great question I like to always ask people. Why did you invest in yourself at that time? In terms of joining our program. So not specifically why did you pick our program, but just what was it that made you invest in yourself at that specific time that you joined the program?
I think it's unfair of me to ask people to invest in themselves with me if I'm not willing to do that myself. So modeling the behavior I'm trying to ask of people, I think, is key. Understanding that growth is inevitable, but instead of figuring everything out by yourself, all the tiny little details, you can just buy that somebody who has figured it out and implement that. So it's kind of like I'm buying back my time. We have an Arabic saying, and it says, buy your peace of mind. And it's that sort of thing where I could probably figure it out, but it will not take me 6 months. It will take me 6 years, you know? Yeah. And so somebody's made the mistakes, let them do that for you, and then just pay for it. And then finally, just having a community really, really helps, and having a community of people who are going through the same thing. And you look at the wins, and, you look at them in the accountability thread of, I want to do this today. I'm like, oh yeah, why don't I do that? I'm going to post a reel today. Okay, yeah, maybe I should do that. And then looking at, people in the program who, 10th client signed today, 20th client signed today, and they're on the 3rd week of the program. What the hell, man? So it's that sort of thing of just having that community. And these people are amazing. And I've worked with them closely now for a few weeks. And having that support is really key. So these are the main things of why I've invested in myself.
Yeah. 1,000%. Sorry. Yeah. It's very similar reasons to why I invested in myself. Well, way back. I still do now. I'm actually making an investment today, funny enough, in myself into another sort of program for myself. So, it's one of those things that when you invest in yourself, I don't think you ever stop then invest in yourself because you realize how impactful it really is. And that sort of saying, but buy your peace of mind is like what you said it was. I love that. I mean, I'm going to steal that and use it, to people. Use it on sales calls. Buy your peace of mind. Buy now. But no, I
I'll send
like it.
you version to use with your Arab clients.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. But yes, but cool. Okay, also, well, look, like I said, I don't take any more of your time. So very much appreciate it. Congrats again on the success in the program. It's amazing to have you on board now as a coach. And yeah, if people want to find you online, where is the best place to find you? I'll put your details in the description down below.
Yeah, Instagram I think is the easiest. So that's just my first name, last name at Showg Sahab, and
Yeah,
you'll get all the information. And I'm happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
yeah, cool, amazing. All right, well, thank you very much, Showg, and have a great rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon.